Tuesday Narayani group, which I have made. In that you can join. You can give me the names, then I will join you in that, so that different classes, the information about the different classes, and you have options also to join. And the Bhakti Vaibhav, anything, like any announcements, will be coming to know in the Tuesday Narayani group. So whoever wants, I will join them, because the first batch, they always wanted something or the other classes to be taken. So they have joined. This is the second batch which I am taking. You can give your names. So in the 18th chapter, most important chapter, Sannyasa Yoga. Sannyasa Yoga, where summary of, because the Sannyasa Yoga is actually Sankhya Yoga. The last section is Sankhya Yoga. But what is the purpose of Sankhya? The purpose of Sankhya, or purpose of knowledge, is to connect everything to Krishna. When a person understands the purpose that everything should be connected to Krishna, then what he does automatically, that is sannyas. His material conception is automatically removed, and that is sannyas, sattanyasa, in the search of absolute truth, giving up the material propensity. So where Krishna says, Sarva Dharman Pariticha, give up this tendency of Kaitava Dharma. Kaitava Dharma means focusing on one's own gratification. So keeping oneself or one's desire, one's material desire in the center. But if a person keeps Krishna in the center and offers everything to Lord, whatever his karma phala, he offers, like 4 types of people we said, that is karmi, jnani, yogi, bhakta. If they understand, the real Bhoktaram is Krishna. Bhoktaram yagyatapasam sarvaloka maheshram surudam sarvabhutanam gyatva mam shanti mrichati. Then only a person can attain shanti. Ma shuchaha means there is a fearlessness. When there is fearlessness, no anxiety, then only a person can experience that happiness. It is not so easy to experience happiness or bliss in this material world. When we say happiness, it indicates material happiness, which is flickering, which is just temporary. But when we say bliss, which is eternal, which is permanent, that can be experienced only when we understand these 3 things. That is 4 things. Bhoktaram yajna. The yajna phala or the karma phala is, the enjoyer is Krishna. And tapasya phala for the jnani, enjoyer is again Krishna. One to whom a yogi meditates upon, that is Krishna, who is residing in everyone's heart. And Suhrada, Krishna is only Suhrada, Krishna is only friend. And Krishna is the only friend, Krishna's devotees are only the friends. It is said, we cannot separate Krishna's name, Krishna's qualities, Krishna's form, Krishna's devotees from Krishna. So very important is Krishna's pastimes. We cannot separate from Krishna. When we say, I love Krishna, I should love all these 5 aspects of Krishna. So what is the process of surrenderance? Anukulyasa sankalpa. With anukula bhava, pratikulyasa varjanam, give up unfavorable conditions, give up. It is up to us. It is our, what is our attitude? What is our perception? Give up all the pratikula bhava. Take up all the favorable things. Rakshasya tati vishwaso. Always have faith that Krishna is there to protect me. I don't have to fear. Krishna is there to protect me. And then Goptruptve Varnam Tatha, he is my guardian. He knows how to manage my things, everything. Like even if you start a day, the day is managed by Krishna if you have given yourself to Krishna. Everything is managed by Krishna. He knows to design everything. Goptruptve Varnam Tatha, Atmanikshepa Karpanya, Atmanikshepa. Atmanikshepa means carefully observe one's senses. We don't have to observe others. We have to observe our own senses. And then karpani, that kripanataha should be there. So this verse in 66th verse of 18th chapter is very important verse where Srila Prabhupada quotes from 11th canto, Hari Bhakti Vilas, 11th chapter, 676th verse. If somebody asks, what is surrenderance? It is not just, oh, I have surrendered to you. Have I taken these 6 things into consideration? If I have taken these 6 things into consideration, that is emphasizing what is surrenderance. So as a Bhakti Shastri student, you should know what is surrenderance. See, there is a process of surrenderance, which we studied in 2nd chapter, 7th verse, 4th chapter, 34th verse. 13th chapter, 8 to 12th verse. Remember or not? Where Adau Guru Padashraya, Sadharma Pucha, Guru Marga Nugamanam, Sevaya, all these things comes in the way how we should surrender. But then what is included in surrenderance? Anukulyasya Sankalpa, Pratikulyasya Varjanam, Rakshasatati Vishwaso, then Goptrutve Varnam Tata, Atmanikshepa, Karpani, Shadvidha, Sharana Gati. This is the 6 aspects which is included in surrenderance. So as a Bhakti Shastri student, you should memorize this verse. Because when Bhakti Vaibhav starts, first thing I'm going to ask is this only.
Hare Krishna Mataji, shall I enter? Mataji, please once again accept this Anukulyasya Sankalpa. Please, once again.
Anukulyasya Sankalpa. Take all the favorable. You are going to now study Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. In Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, this is going to come. Anya Vilashita Shunyam Jnana Karmadi Anavritam Anukulyena Krishna Nushiranam Bhakti Ruttama. What is Bhakti? Anukula Bhava. Anukula means favorable mood. Whatever favorable circumstances which promotes your bhakti, take it up. The unfavorable things, unfavorable conditions, like somebody is keeping a big TV in the house, it is disturbing your chanting mood. Then what you should do? You should go to separate room and chant your rounds. You cannot shout at everyone. You can try to teach, but what to do? Somebody is not accepting it. Will you have a fight in the house? Then what you have to do? You have to just go out of the house. If the house permits you to go out, then you have to go out of the house or pray to Krishna. Such attitude has to be stopped. That is why it is very important to make family members also devotees. If family members are not devotees, then it becomes very horrible for a person who has taken, it may be husband, it may be wife, it may be child, whoever. That is why our prayasa should be somehow or the other, we should pray to Krishna, all the family members become very wonderful devotees. Then everybody's mind is in one direction. Somebody's mind goes here, somebody's mind goes there. It is difficult. Now we experienced, we went to Nasik. There the Mataji wanted to come and join us, but our husband was not allowing. So what happens is, it becomes very difficult for a person to really come forward and perform devotional service. It becomes very difficult. So that is why it is clearly said that every member should be somehow ena kena prakarena, by giving prasadam, by wonderful words or something like that. One has to, if somebody sama dama bheda, danda, give danda, then what to do? Sama dama bheda, 4 types, 4 ways of curing a disease. This is also a material disease, no? Not interested in devotion is a disease. So what you should do? You should give medicine. How the medicine is given? Sama, in a very wonderful way, or Dama, show some merits, Bheda, show some fear, Danda, if not, open the mouth and put medicine. Do that. Open the mouth and speak it up. Sama means explanation. First explanation. Dama means give some merits, show some merits. So if you come to temple, you have wonderful prasadam. That is why this pizza counter, this counter, and all are kept actually. This is Dama. It's not for the devotees who are in devotion. It is only for the outsiders to just attract. Oh, our Mayapur pizza is so wonderful. People run to Mayapur just for pizzas. Like we used to go to Gopinath temple just for khichdi. But that is attraction, some attraction. Give some attraction. Welcome. Don't expect this welcome and all after you take up devotion. Nobody welcomes you. You have to welcome others. Initial stages, everybody hugs you as if you are the only one because of whom everything is to be, that the whole program is dependent on you. In the initial days, I remember people used to call me so much. And devotees used to call me. If Thursday is the program, right from Monday, I used to get called, Mataji, you're coming. Huh? And I once felt, maybe because of me only, if I'm not present, I think the whole mood is not there, I think. Sometimes you feel that because of me, the program is happening next week. That means my presence is very important. After 1 year, I heard a class where it said the most idiotic people or the most foolish people are given many phone calls. Oh, no way, now I'm not going to make any devotee call me. In fact, I'm going to call others. So after that, when we took up devotion very seriously, nobody called us. This happens in this way. Dama means show some merits. And afterwards, danda. If a person is not hearing, open mouth, shout at him. We have to do that. Because that too only to those whom you have authority. If you don't have authority, what you can shout? So in this way, anukulyasa sankalpa, pratikulyasa varjanam, rakshya satati vishwasa. In the endeavor, there may be some losses, apparent losses, which can be seen. But you should know, Lord is there to protect me. There may be some apparent losses, but Lord is there to protect me in every circumstances. Sometimes the family members will be very angry with you, throw you out of the house. They're not interested in you. Then a person thinks, oh, no family members are in touch with me. Because there is a verse which the Prabhupada used to chant every day. Yasyaham anugrahami harishye tadhanam shanai tato adalam tejanti yasya dukha tato adhalam tejanti yasya nice word, dukha dukhitam. Somebody can help me in this? Remove that words. Yasyaham anugrahami harishye tadhanam shanai tejanti yasya swajanam. This last line, dukha dukhitam will come. Wait, I'll remove. I have this first book. So this is the verse which Srila Prabhupada used to chant every day. Yasyaham anugrahami. To whoever Krishna has given a special mercy. Yasyaham anugrahami. It's 263 page. So there it is said, whoever Krishna has given a special mercy, first thing what Krishna will do, remove all his dhanam. The material propensity to spend money, that will be removed. And that will be replaced by Lakshmi. When you don't have dhanam, we don't have the material propensity to spend on your family members, then tato adhanam tejanti yasya swajanam dukha dukkita. When you don't have the money to spend on your family members, to take them to cinema theaters, to hotels, then slowly swajanam tejanti. Slowly, they will also go away. Tato adhanam tejanti yasya swajanam dukha dukkitam. So in this way, you will feel, oh, nobody is there with me. No family members are there to support me. But I understand one thing. Krishna is there. Krishna is there. See, the wives of Brahmanas in Bhagavatam, they just left everything. They went to Krishna when they heard that Krishna Balram have come and they are very hungry. So they took everything and went. They did not even think what will happen if they come back. Their husbands will beat them or what, they'll throw them, they'll be thrown out. Nothing. They did not think anything. Avashya rakshibe Krishna. Krishna is there to protect. If we have this wonderful understanding, then Goptrutve Varnam Tatha. Goptrutve Varnam Tatha. He is there. He is my guardian. So Krishna knows how to protect. So then Atmanikshepa, one has to observe his senses. One has to observe what my senses are. Are my senses are really employed in Krishna's service? Are my eyes employed in Krishna's service? Ears employed in Krishna's service? Are my legs walking for Krishna? It is like for Krishna, by Krishna, of Krishna. So all these things of, by, for, are my senses doing that? That is Atmanikshepa. Kripadaha, Karpanya. Even if a person has got self-realization, he may be a very wonderful person, attain self-realization, but Kripadaha has to be always maintained. Kripadaha should be always maintained. Karpanyataha, Kripadaha. If that is why Chaitanya Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, these four things should be made as a pendant. What is that? Tradapi sunichena tarorapi sahishtuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadari. Put this as a pendant and keep it on your chest. That is what this Kripanataha should always be maintained. Howsoever one may be 25 years in ISKCON or 30 years in ISKCON, maybe knowing all the Maharaj names and everybody's names, but still every 6 months renew yourself. You renew your passport, isn't it? Renew yourself. How the renewal should be done? I'm new to ISKCON. Actually, if you see, when we are new, we are more humble. As and when we progress, we think that, oh, now I am in Golok Dham. I'm just chanting. And while chanting, I can talk also. I can do many activities while chanting. Allowed to leave by 9:15. Okay. Today office, no problem. You can leave and afterwards hear the YouTube class. But today I cannot leave soon because I have to do the summary. You have to know why we are studying. So in this way, Atmanikshepa Karpanye Shalvidha Sharana Gati. So Krishna says this knowledge is very, very important. But don't give this knowledge to those who are not austere. Even in the 10 aparadhas it comes. Ashaddhani Mukhe Pashmavati Chopadesha Shivanama Aparadha. Don't give this knowledge to those who are Ashraddhalu. Those who land up in fight, don't give this knowledge. Your own body language will understand that by their body language, you will understand that they are not interested. Just be silent. To everybody, you cannot give knowledge. You can tackle them in different ways. Prasadam, nobody says no. Yesterday, our driver was a Muslim person. And he told he had prasadam. After that, on the way, he was just telling me, will you take tea? I want a tea break. I said, you go and take tea. He said, you will not take tea? I said, no. Then he said, then how I can take tea? I said, you take now. He's a new person, new one. But just see, just by taking prasadam, I took him to Goshala. Just by taking prasadam, he was not liking to take tea in our absence. He was thinking, oh, I'm not giving them. It's not a good etiquette. I drink alone. I said, you drink, you don't worry, you go and drink. Afterwards, he was asking me why we should not drink tea, why we should not drink coffee on the own. So knowledge can be only given when somebody is asking. You cannot just go and say, no, we should not drink tea, it is intoxication. Why we have to say that? We don't have to say. First, become a friend. First, become a friend. It is also said that if you are a friend of a person, then he will take up Krishna consciousness for your sake. That is Adau Shraddha, Tatha Sadhu Sangha, Anartha Nivrutti, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivrutti, Nishtha. This Nishtha stage comes only when you develop such type of rapport. Everybody is not at the stage of Nishtha. Nishtha means howsoever you are beaten. And you'll experience also. As soon as you come in devotion, you'll be beaten. You will be tested by Maya like anything. First, the test will be from your own family members. Then the test will come from our own devotees. You will not be treated nicely in the temple. Something or the other will happen like this. Let it happen. No? It's again Maya only. So it is a game of Maya. So when we had so much of guts to fight with our family members and take up devotional service, then why find fault with the devotees? They are also our brother, sister. They may fight, they may argue, they may throw you out. And let them throw. Na? Afterwards, if you maintain your humility, karpanataha, they will only call you back. Because again, it's a test of Maya. It is not a person. Understand it very nicely. It is not person who is coming in your way. It is the test of Maya. Mama Maya Duratya, very difficult to cross Maya. When you have taken up devotional service, understand we have taken a challenge towards Maya. So Maya naturally is Durgaji, Krishna's energy. Mama Maya, Krishna says, Mama Maya, she's my Maya. And it's not so easy to go to Dham, Golok Dham. Lot of tests will be there. Our own people will give up. Then our own devotees will insult or something may happen. But it is not a person. If you understand this, then you will be happy everywhere. Then we can say, any insult come, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Any challenges come, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. If you say this, that everything I'm keeping in your shelter, O Krishna, then every circumstances can be handled very nicely. And the Krishna consciousness will never be lost. So here it is said, don't give this knowledge. Don't try to give knowledge to those who are not austere. Different way. Tackle them in different ways. Then Krishna says in 68th verse, if you give this knowledge to the devotees, your devotional service will increase. So that as a sadhu sangha, when sadhu sangha happens, then you get the knowledge. Then what you should do with that knowledge? Because you have got the prasadam. Naturally, when you have prasadam, you have to distribute to others. Prasade sarva dukkhanam. Prasadam can be in the form of knowledge. Prasadam can be in the form of anna. Prasadam can be in the form of association. So when you are having that bhajana kriya with the sadhus, naturally you have got that prasadam. Now distribute prasadam. Whomever you are seeing, speak about Krishna. But how to speak? Again, you have to be very careful. Whom to speak? How much to speak, that is also very important. Like we have seen the 6 vakyas, 6 speech of Ramachandra. So we should know how to give the knowledge, whom to give the knowledge. In this way, this Guhya Jnanam should be given only to the devotees who are interested. When you say devotees means who are interested. By doing that, our faith in Krishna will increase more and more. Because when you speak, you also learn. Our faith in Krishna increases more and more. Our nishtha means the firm faith. First is Adav Shraddha. It's a Komala Shraddha. Then firm faith in this process will increase. When the firm faith in this process increases, automatically Krishna's mercy flows. That is how Bhava, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava, Prema. So these stages starts. So in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, you will understand 3 stages. That is Sadhana, Bhava, Prema. So these stages, sadhana stage is very, very important stage. Once sadhana stage is cleared, then understand bhava prema is very easy to attain. But in this sadhana stage, there will be lot of test. We just have to pray Krishna that we should never forget the lotus feet of our spiritual master. Lotus feet of a spiritual master will always keep us bound to Krishna. Lotus feet of spiritual master at any cost should not be forgotten. Our Shiksha Guru, Diksha Guru, they are the ones who will take to Krishna. So by serving Vaishnavas, we can easily go to Krishna. So this sadhana stage is not directly, I love Krishna. I don't know Krishna. I don't know how to love Krishna also. But sadhu sangha, yes, Vaishnava seva. The more Vaishnava seva, you get an opportunity, just serve. It is not that only high-class Vaishnavas I will serve. Every Vaishnava, whoever is taking Harinam Sankirtan, just serve them. It is only not I'll serve my Siksha Guru, Diksha Guru. No. My God brothers, my God sisters, everybody should be served very nicely. Now somebody can say, God brother, God sister, only from one Diksha Guru. Everyone, whoever is under the shelter of Srila Prabhupada. Then what about a Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya? Vaishnavas come, we should serve them also. Vaishnava word is a very broader concept. Just don't narrow it to institution. It is a broader concept. We have to serve the Vaishnavas who are surrendered to Krishna. They may come in any of the 4 sampradayas. Somebody may not be in a sampradaya, but he has love for Krishna. He has not got the fortune to be in a sampradaya. Love him, care everyone. Okay, those who are not following Krishna, love them also. Satam nindanam naha paramaparadam vidante, don't criticize anything. So if you follow all these things very nicely as a sadhaka, then it is easy for us to go back home, back to God. Krishna says, he will come back to me. 69th verse onwards. Nacha tasman manusheshu kaschinne priyakuttamah bhavita nacha me tasmat anya priyataro bhuvihi. Krishna says, such a person is very dear to me. There can be no dearer servant than he. So in Gita Marathon, you are not going and seeing who is a devotee, then giving, irrespective of whether he is having faith or not. You're just going and giving one Bhagavad Gita. Sometimes the argument is, what if he doesn't study? What if he just keeps it like that? Let him keep. Let him keep. Even somebody tolerated us also, gave Bhagavad Gita and we did not open. But time came, we are opening and studying. Somebody tolerated us, we should also tolerate everyone. And we should just be in the missionary movement. And there also again, Krishna says, this also we had done. Adhyeshyate cha ya imam dharmyam samvadam avayoho jnana yagyena tenaham ishtasyamiti me matihi. He who studies the sacred conversations worships me by his intelligence. So Krishna says, don't worship by just sentiments. Just by sentimental worship should be just avoided, because by sentiments, a person just cannot worship. He should have intelligence also. There are 2 types. If he just takes up sentimental worship or just tries to speculate, this is also not proper. Bhava should be there, no doubt. Sentiment should be there, but it should be accompanied with knowledge. That is why studying Bhagavad Gita is very important. then only our bhakti will not be just on the level of sentiments. It will be accompanied with knowledge. Why we are worshipping? Because that is our constitutional position. Somebody may worship because he wants because he has seen somebody worshipping. Mr. A saw Mr. B worshipping, but he has got some benefits, material benefits. Immediately he also started worshipping. But on the contrary, what happened? No material benefits came. He lost even whatever he had, then he may give it up. That is why it should be with knowledge, not just on the level of sentiments. It should be with knowledge. That is why it is said, Arto Jigyasu Arthati Jnani cha Bharatarshava. In that, Krishna says, I prefer the Jnanis. Why Jnanis? Because he is worshipping with intelligence. He has very clearly said, he who worships with intelligence can understand this sacred knowledge, or who is studying Bhagavad Gita automatically will worship with his intelligence. 71st verse. Shraddhavan anasuyascha shunuyadapi no yo naraha sopi mukta shubhan lokan prapnuyat punyakarmanam. Shraddhavan anasuyascha shunuyadapi yo naraha sopi mukta shubhan lokan prapnuyat punya karmanam. Krishna says Shraddhavan. See, Shraddha, this word, Shraddhavan. Even in the 4th chapter, go to 4th chapter. When you are preparing for the examination, I have told you the way to study on Monday class. Whenever one word comes, search the other word, because you all are now, you know how to operate the computers and all. Immediately, if you see Shraddha, there will be another place where Krishna speaks about Shraddha. Where Krishna says, somebody can help me? Where Krishna says, with the Shraddha we have to approach. If Shraddha is not there, everything is gone. Ashraddhalu Vyakti cannot approach Krishna. Shraddha, where is it? Search in 7th chapter. 4th chapter. Got the word Shraddha? Where Shraddha has been used? Somebody do it till the time we will discuss this verse. Shraddha, this word comes. Then Ashraddha, that also word comes. Wait. Have you got it? Somebody can unmute yourself.
39 verse.
Yes, 4.39. Shraddhavan lavate jnanam tatparah sanyatendriyah jnanam latva param shantim achirainadi gacchati. Immediately 40th verse says, agyascha ashraddhanascha samshayatma vinashyati nayam lokostina paro na sukham samshayatmanah. Shraddhavan lavate jnanam. If you have faith, you will get knowledge. If you don't have faith, you will never get knowledge. That is why here, very important. There also Krishna is indicated in 4th chapter, 39th, but now also Krishna is emphasizing on this. What is that? In the 70th verse, what Krishna says? If you have faith, you can progress. Shraddhavan anasuyascha. Don't be envious. You have faith. Don't be envious. Shunuvadapi yo naraha. With faith, here, don't have enviousness. Swopi muktaha, then a person can be liberated. Shubhan lokan, then he attains auspicious planet. Prapnuyat punyakarmanam. In this way, he becomes free from all sinful reactions and he attains punyakarmana. Which punyakarmana? Not of this material world, which takes you only to the heavenly planets. Search the words Yesham Dvantagatam Papam Jananam Punyakarmanam. There also Punyakarmanam is there. See, while studying, if you study like this, slowly, you will relate. When you have Punyakarmanam, remember here also. Which is that words Yesham Dvantagatam Papam Jananam Punyakarmanam. 7th chapter open. I may be wrong also. Just open. Search. If you start searching like this, these are the two words which is very important in this 7th chapter, 28th verse. Yesham tantagatam papam jananam punyakarmanam te dvandva moha nirmukta bhajanti mam dulavatah bhajante mam dulavatah. Is there 7th chapter 28th verse? Punyakarmanam. What is the phala of punyakarmanam? Why a person should have this punyakarmanam? Te dvandva moha nirmukta. So which punyakarmanam is being spoken? Where good and bad has been removed. Divinity has been invoked. Divinity is beyond good and bad. But if you compare the papa and punya of this material world, papa is bad, punya is good. Good will give good planet. Bad will be bad planet. We are not talking about good and bad, because if you would have spoken about good and bad, then Krishna, why he is writing in there in this 7th chapter 28th verse, te dvandva moha nirmukta. He becomes liberated. Here also Krishna says, sopi muktaha. Which mukti has been spoken? He becomes free from dvandva, good and bad. Somebody will give good name, trying to do something for good name. Somebody should say good name for us. Don't have to do anything. Just give divinity to others. Don't be worried about what one is social cultures. Don't have to worry about social culture. What is required, to whom Krishna knows how to give, you may be an instrument in that. One need not have to think what people will think about me. Don't have to think all these things. Just be surrendered to Krishna. Krishna knows. Like you go to somebody's house, the culture is you should take something and go na. But if you are beyond all these things, dvandva, then you come out of all these, what you call, social cultures. You just have to be divine in the society. The divinity is more important. Rather than being good and bad, just be more divine in the society. As much as possible, give Krishna consciousness to others. That is more important. Be Krishna conscious also. So, te dvandva moha nirmukta. That is what here is spoken. Sopi muktaha shubhan lokan. Then prapnuyat punya karmana. So see, this verse 71 is related to 7.28, 4.29. Okay. Okay. Kamalakshi Mataji. Read. Kamalakshi. I always pronounce it wrong. Kamalakshi.
Kamalakshi. Hare Krishna Mataji. Shraddhavan anasuyasya shunyat abhiyo naraha sopi muktaga subalogan prapniyat punya karmanam. Translation: and one who listens with faith and without envy becomes free from sinful reactions and attains to the auspicious planets where the pious dwell. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. In the 67th verse of this chapter, the Lord explicitly foretold the Gita's being spoken to those who were envious of the Lord. In other words, Bhagavad Gita is for the devotees only. But it so happens that sometimes a devotee of the Lord will hold open class. And in that class, not all the students are expected to be devotees. Why do such persons hold open class? It is explained here that although not everyone is a devotee, still there are many men who are not envious of Krishna. They have faith in him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If such person hear from a bona fide devotee about the Lord, the result is that they become at once free from all sinful reactions. And after that attain to the planetary system where all righteous persons are situated. Therefore, simply by hearing Bhagavad Gita, even a person who does not try to be a pure devotee attains the result of righteous activities. Thus, a pure devotee of the Lord gives everyone a chance to become free from all sinful reactions and to become a devotee of the Lord. Generally, those who are free from sinful reaction, those who are righteous, very easily take to Krishna consciousness. The word punya karmanam is very significant here. This refers to the performance of great sacrifices like the Asvamedha Yajna mentioned in the Vedic literature. Those who are righteous in performing devotional service, but who are not pure, can attain the planetary system of the pole star or Durval Loka, where Durva Maharaja is presiding. He is a great devotee of the Lord, and he has a special planet which is called the pole star. Hare Krishna Mataji.
So Dhruv Maharaj Katha we had done just a few days before in this Deepdan Mahotsav. When Lord appears before Dhruv Maharaj, he went with a desire to have a bigger planet, more bigger than even his great grandfather. And when Lord appeared before him, he was repenting. How foolish I am. Why did I come for asking some material benefit? Lord gave him through planet. And also told that this is beyond material jurisdiction. This will be considered as one of the spiritual planet only. Though the whole material planets will be destroyed, this planet will never be destroyed. So he has got everything, but still he was repenting. He was repenting that I could have asked devotional service. Why did I ask something which is like a piece of glass? So here is said, a great devotee of Lord Dhruv Maharaj, that what he was doing was performing only pure devotional service. But afterwards, he realized that pure devotional service is more important. First, he went with the intention of getting. So they are not considered to be very pure. You have some desires. Artho, Jigyasu, Artharthi. The Artho example, Dhruv Maharaj comes. That's why it is said, one who is free from sinful reactions, who are righteous, will very easily take up to Krishna consciousness. Punya Karmanam is very significant here. This refers to the performance of great sacrifice, Ashwamedha Yajna. Those who are righteous in performing devotional service but who are not pure can attain planetary system of the pole star or Dhruv Loka, where Dhruv Maharaj is resided. And there what Dhruv Maharaj will do? Teach pure devotional service. Because Dhruv Maharaj already has repented. Why did I go and ask something material? But anyhow, Lord gave him spiritual and Lord gave him pure consciousness also. Kashchidetat shrutam partham tvaikagreena chetasa kashchidajnana sammoha pranashtaste dhananjaya kashchidetat shrutam partha kashchidetat shrutam. See what Krishna is asking. Kashchidetat shrutam partha tvaikagreena chetasa. Have you heard with full attention or not? Or your attention is somewhere, oh, I have to go here, I have to go there. That is also one attention. One is complete focused. Always understand, we should never have many agendas when we are hearing the class. We should keep ourselves very much free. Nor we should feel that time should bind us. Time should, until unless very much emergency. If you are having office and all those things is another thing. But suppose the class is 7 to 8 and the speaker goes beyond 8. You cannot just force the speaker, stop your class. No. Until unless it is a weekdays class, weekends class, like Sundays. Sundays, your mind should be completely free. Like Sundays, you are free. Then you should be ekagrena chetasa. It's very important. That is why in ISKCON, we always have the class mostly on Sundays. But nowadays, even weekdays, because of the online, people can hear even while traveling. But there also, while hearing, ekagrena. Even if you are traveling and hearing this class, if your mind is focused, then your consciousness is in the class. Kashchit eta, because Krishna is asking this question, Kashchit eta shrutam partha. While hearing, tvaikagrena chetasa, was your consciousness in me? Sometimes just to have the attendance, what happens? People on their videos. They don't on videos. They will keep their is on, but they will be talking. Maybe we will put the attendance. But then who is in loss? Who is in loss? We ourselves are in loss. Kashchit agyana sammoha. Because this is the only way to come out of agyana, ignorance. Krishna says, after hearing whether your ignorance has gone or not, if we consider ourselves only body and bodily activities to be more important, then think, even after hearing so much, our ajnana is not removed. So that is why here it is said, Kaschit eta shrutam parthat vaikagrena chetasa. Kaschit, whether your ajnana has come out or not, you are removed out of ajnana or not. Have you come out of illusion, sammoha, pranashtaha? Are these dispelled? Pranashtaha. There is a ajnana and sammoha are dispelled. O Dhananjaya, O Arjuna, let me know whether you heard properly or not. If you hear only, then only your ajnana will come out. That means the purpose of studying Bhagavad Gita. What is the purpose? This has been given here. This shloka emphasizes the purpose of studying Bhagavad Gita. The purpose of studying Bhagavad Gita is to remove our illusion and ignorance. What is ignorance? Aham mama iti ajnanam. मैं जो बोलता हूँ, aham, मेरा. Sammoha, sampurna rupena moha. I am the body. I am so and so. I am this personality, that personality. Sammoha. So that is why the purpose of studying Bhagavad Gita is to remove ignorance and illusion. Can Krishna ask this to Arjuna? Because Arjuna is Gudakesha. We have already studied in second chapter. What is the meaning of Gudakesha? One who has controlled his sleep. One who is the master of his sleep. Open which verse speaks about Gudakesha. Second chapter. Can Krishna ask this question to Arjuna? Gudakesha. Sorry, first chapter. First chapter. Which verse Gudakesha comes? First chapter. Gudakesha. Where very clearly it has been told that he, first chapter, where it is, just search first chapter, second chapter, wait, where it is. Open.
24 verse.
1.24.
1.24.
Yeah.
Evamukto Rishikesho Gudakeshena Bharata Senayoruvayormatye Stapitva Ratottama Gudakesha. He is Gudakesha. Gudaka Isha. Gudaka means sleep. Gudaka means ignorance. So he has already overcome. That is why he is Gudakesha. Then how is it that this person will be again put in illusion? That is the plan of Krishna, so that Krishna wants us to come out of this illusion. That is why Krishna says, have you come out? That means he's asking us actually, have we come out of it? Have we studied properly or not? Are we interested in hearing properly or not? After attaining Bhakti Shastri certificate also, have we come out or not? First he is asking, did you hear properly? Okay, one thing. Okay, somebody can say, yes, I heard so nicely 10 times, they are hearing the same class. Now everything is by hearted, 700 slokas, all by hearted. I know panna, everything. Even my memory is so sharp that I can even remember all the purports also. Very good, wonderful. But then next question, what is he asking? Is your moha, are you out of this moha, out of the illusion, out of the ignorance? That means these two things are interrelated at the same time. These two things are also separate. That is Achinta Bheda Bheda Tattva. This is also Achinta Bheda Bheda Tattva, isn't it? There is interconnection, abheda. There is bheda also. Even after learning, even after hearing, it is not so easy to come out of illusion. You may hear 10 times, you may hear 100 times, you may be even preaching also 100 times, 10 times. You may be preaching the same chapter again and again. That is why there is a verse in Bhagavatam. There is a verse in Bhagavatam, I'm removing that verse. Even after hearing so many times, even after speaking so many times, it is Nayam Atma Pravacharena Labhya, 361st page. I'll give you the quotation. You can note it down and read this afterwards. This is from Katha Upanishad 1.2.23. I'll put this in the group. Nayam Atma Pravacharena Labhya. I don't know the knowledge of the I don't know about myself. That means I am yet not self-realized, even after doing so much of pravachan. Nayam Atma Pravachanena Labhya. I am still not self-realized. I see a lizard, I get afraid. isn't it? So what self-realization? 100 times also teaching also. I have yet not attained self-realization. Na medaya na bahuna shutena. Even after hearing 100 times also, I have not attained self-realization. Self-realization only can be attained after we come out of this moha and ignorance. And there only avashya rakshive Krishna rakshi zakati vishwaso bhoptutve varnam tata. So after hearing also, I have not attained. Then when can I attain? I'm trying hard. I'm speaking, I'm hearing, I'm trying hard. So there it is given. Yam eva isha vrutatena labhyas tasesha atma vrute tanuswam. Only when he is chosen by Krishna. Then why Krishna is asking this question? Only when he is chosen by Krishna, he manifests his own form. Just see. Is not Krishna very cunning? Cunning. He is asking us to hear nicely also. He is asking us to speak also. But ultimately, he says, whoever I have chosen, I will reveal my form to him. That means we cannot demand. We can wait for the mercy of Krishna. We cannot demand. Brahmaji very clearly says, Tattenu kampartam susamikshamano bhunjanevatma kutam vipakam namaste jive kayum tipade sadai bhag. Yes, you are eligible, but we cannot demand. Eligibility comes by hearing, speaking. Yes, eligibility is there. Like when you write some entrance examination, you are eligible to write. But ultimately, the result is not just because you're eligible. Yes, eligibility is one of the factors to write the examination, and the result is again up to your karma, isn't it? Up to your karma. In the same way here, Krishna says, you don't demand, oh, I have been serving for so many years, I have been doing so much of kathas and all these things. But then everything depends on Krishna's mercy. So, Daya Sagar Prabhu, please read.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Kachit eta chrutam partha tvayaikagrena chetasa kachita jnana samohaha pranashtaste dhananjayam. Translation: O son of Partha, O conqueror of wealth, have you heard this with an attentive mind? And are your ignorance and illusion now dispelled? Purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The Lord was actually as the spiritual master of Arjuna. The Lord was acting as the spiritual master of Arjuna. Therefore, it was his duty to inquire from Arjuna whether he understood the whole Bhagavad Gita in its proper perspective. If not, the Lord was ready to re-explain any point, or the whole Bhagavad Gita if so required. Actually, anyone who hears Bhagavad Gita from a bona fide spiritual master like Krishna or his representative will find that all his ignorance is dispelled. Bhagavad Gita is not an ordinary book written by a poet or fiction writer. It is spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Any person fortunate enough to hear these teachings from Krishna or from his bona fide spiritual representative is sure to become a liberated person and get out of the darkness of ignorance. Hare Krishna.
Arjuna Uvacha. Now what Arjuna is asking, listen. Nashto moha smatirlabdha Tatprasadanmayachyuta sitosmi gata sandeha karishe vachanam tava. Arjuna uvacha nashto moha smritirlabdha tatprasadanmayachyuta sitosmi gata sandeha karishe vachanam tava. Karishe vachanam tava. At last he said, whatever you say, Krishna, I will do. Till now he was arguing so many times, so many questions, and all were asked. Now whatever you say, Krishna, I am free from doubt. I will do whatever you say. Nashto moha. From the teachings what you have given, all my illusion has gone. I have regained my memory by your mercy. See again here, mercy. That is why Yameva Isha Vrutatena Labhyas Yasya Shatma Vrutatan Swam. One has to wait for the mercy, and here Arjuna has got Krishna's mercy. That is why he has regained his memory. This mercy is very important word here. Tvat prasadat. Not just because you taught me and I have very good intelligence and I have learned it. No, you have given a special mercy to me. That is why Tvat prasadat. See how the connection is there with the Bhagavatam verse and this verse. With the eyes of Bhagavatam, study Bhagavad Gita. With the study of Bhagavad Gita, study Bhagavatam. Tvat prasadat. By your mercy, my illusion is gone. Stitosmi gata sandeha. Stitosmi. I am situated. How firmly now? I am situated firmly. Why? Because my ignorance is gone. Gata, gone. All sandeha, all doubts are also removed. If you have doubts, then how can you stay with a person? But if you don't have any doubt, you can stay with that person. So that is why it is said, I am now free from doubt. And now I am ready to do whatever you say. Karishe vachanam tava. This phrase is very, very important. Karishe vachanam tava. Whatever you say, Krishna, I am ready to act. Okay. Jumur, read. First paragraph you read, 2-3 paragraphs.
Arjuna vacha nashto moha smriti labdha tat prasadan mayuchyata stitosmi gata sandeha karishe vachanam tava. Arjuna said, my dear Krishna, O infallible one, my illusion is now gone. I have regained my memory by your mercy. I am now firm and free from doubt, and am prepared to act according to your instructions. Purport. The constitutional position of a living entity represented by Arjuna is that he has to act according to the order of Supreme Lord. He is meant for self-discipline. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that the actual position of the living entity is that of eternal servant of the Supreme Lord. Forgetting this principle, the living entity becomes conditioned by material nature, but in serving the Supreme Lord, he becomes the liberated servant of God. The living entity's constitutional position is to be a servitor. He has to serve either the illusory Maya or the Supreme Lord. If he serves the Supreme Lord, he is in his normal condition, but if he prefers to serve the illusory external energy, then certainly he will be in bondage. In illusion, the living entity is serving in this material world. He is bound by his lust and desires, yet he thinks of himself as the master of the world. This is called illusion. When a person is liberated, his illusion is over and he voluntarily surrenders unto the Supreme to act according to his desires. The last illusion, the last snare of Maya to trap the living entity is the proposition that he is God. The living entity thinks that he is no longer a conditioned soul, but God. He is so unintelligent that he does not think that if he were God, then how could he be in doubt? That he does not consider. So that is the last layer of illusion. Actually, to become free from the illusory energy is to understand Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and agree to act according to his order. The word moha is very important in this verse.
Kadi Prabhu, read from here.
Hare Krishna Mataji. The moha is very important in this verse. Moha refers to that which is opposed to knowledge. Actually, real knowledge is the understanding that every living being is eternally a servitor of the Lord. But instead of thinking oneself in that position, the living entity thinks that he is not a servant, that he is the master of the material world, or he wants to lord it over the material nature. That is his illusion. This illusion can be overcome by the mercy of the Lord or by the mercy of the pure devotee. When that illusion is over, one agrees to act in Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is acting according to Krishna's order. Conditioned soul, illusioned by the external energy of matter, does not know that Supreme Lord is the Master, who is full of knowledge and who is the proprietor of everything. Whatever he desires, he can bestow upon his devotees. He is friend of everyone. He is especially inclined to his devotee. He is the controller of the material nature and of all living entities. He is also controller of inexhaustible time, and he is full of all opulences and all potencies. The Supreme Personality of Godhead can give himself to the devotee. One who does not know him is under the spell of illusion. He does not become a devotee, but a servitor of Maya. Arjuna, however, after hearing Bhagavad Gita from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, became free from illusion. He could understand that Krishna was not only his friend, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he understood Krishna factually. So, to study Bhagavad Gita is to understand Krishna factually. When a person is in full knowledge, he naturally surrenders to Krishna. When Arjuna understood that it was Krishna's plan to reduce the unnecessary increase of population, he agreed to fight according to Krishna's desire. He again took up his weapons, his arrows and bow, and to fight under the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna.
So he again took up his weapons, his arrows and the bow to fight under the order of the Supreme Lord. Sanjay Uvacha. Now conversation between Krishna and Arjuna over. Again Sanjay Uvacha has started. Sanjay Uvacha ityaham vasudevasya parthasya cha mahatmanah samvadam imam shroshram adbhutam romaharshanam. The adbhuta message, wonderful message. Iti aham vasudevasya. I have heard. Vasudevasya parthasya mahatmanah samvadam. I have heard the conversation between these two great souls, Krishna and Arjuna. Then imam ashrausham, after I have heard this conversation, ashrausham, and this is adbhutam romaharshanam. This message is so wonderful that my hair is standing on the end. The ecstatic symptoms. Okay. Ansrupi Prabhu is there? Not there. Anija Prabhu, read the verse.
Hare Krishna Mate. Sanjaya uvacha ityaham vasudevasya parthasya cha mahatmanaha samvadam imam ashrosham adbhutam roma harshanam. Translation. Sanjaya said, thus have I heard the conversation of two great souls, Krishna and Arjuna. And so wonderful is that message that my hair is standing on end. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, Dhritarashtra inquired from his secretary Sanjaya what happened on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. The entire study was related to the heart of Sanjaya by the grace of his spiritual master Vyasa. He thus explained the theme of the battlefield. The conversation was wonderful because such an important conversation between two great souls had never taken place before and would not take place again. It was wonderful because the Supreme Personality of Godhead was speaking about himself and his energies to the living entity Arjuna, a great devotee of the Lord. If we follow in the footsteps of Arjuna to understand Krishna, then our life will be happy and successful. Sanjaya realized this, and as he began to understand it, he related the conversation to Dhritarashtra. Now it is concluded that wherever there is Krishna and Arjuna, there is victory. Hare Krishna.
व्यासप्रसाद श्रुतवानेतद् गुह्यम् अहं परम् व्यासप्रसाद श्रुतवान् एतद् गुह्यम् अहं परम् योगं योगेश्वरात् कृष्ण साक्षात् तदयतः स्वयं व्यासप्रसाद श्रुतवान् एतद् गुह्यम् अहं परम् योगं योगेश्वरात् कृष्ण साक्षात् कथयतः स्वयं. So he says Vyasa Prasada, by the mercy of Vyasa, because Vyasa has given the benediction to Sanjaya that he can envision the whole battlefield just by sitting in the palace. So because of Vyasa's mercy, that's see now he is remembering his spiritual master. There's only because of the mercy of spiritual master we are in the process of studying Bhagavad Gita. So again Krishna is indicating us all Bhagavad Gita is practical application. Without mercy of spiritual master, we can never study Bhagavad Gita, we can never speak about Bhagavad Gita. So by the mercy of Vyasa, he says, I am speaking, I am telling all, because he's going to repeat now what Krishna has told. That means he's speaking Bhagavad Gita because of mercy of Vyasa. In the same way, today whatever we are doing is only because of the mercy of our spiritual master. And the spiritual master extends to Guru Shishya Parampara. Vyasa Prasadat Shruttavan. I have heard the most confidential talk because of the mercy. I have heard also. And then Aham Param Yogam, confident. I have heard because of the mercy of the spiritual master, this confidential talk. Yoga Ishwarat Krishnat Sakshat Tatayah Swayam. I have heard this most confidential talk directly from Krishna, because Krishna is speaking to Arjuna at that time. Vyasa is also hearing, but sitting in the palace of Dhritarashtra. Now Krishna has spoken this knowledge directly to Arjuna, personal presence, but sitting in the palace, he also could hear. Okay, Anupama, read. I will read it behind me. Vyasa Prasadat Shruttavan. Unmute yourself.
Yeah. Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandavat Pranam. Vyasa Prasadat Shruttvan.
Etat Guhyam Aham
Param.
Yogam Yogeshwarat Krishnat.
Yogam Yogeshwarat Krishnat.
Sakshat Katayatah Swayam.
Sakshat Kathayahata Swayam. Translation. By the mercy of Vyasa, I have heard these most confidential talks directly from the master of my all mysticism, Krishna, who has speaking personally to Arjuna. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vyasa was the spiritual master of Sanjaya, and Sanjaya admit that it was by Vyasa's mercy that he could understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This means that one has to understand Krishna not directly, but through the medium of the spiritual master. The spiritual master is the transparent medium, although it is true that the experience is still direct. This is the mystery of the disciplic succession. When the spiritual master is bona fide, then one can hear Bhagavad Gita directly as Arjuna heard it. There are many mystics and yogis all over the world, but Krishna is the master of all yoga system. Krishna's instruction is explicitly stated in the Bhagavad Gita, surrender unto Krishna. One who does so is the topmost yogi. This is confirmed in the last verse of the 6th chapter. Yogi nam api sarvesham.
stop. Yoginam api sarvesham madgatena antaratmana shaktavan bhajate yomam samekta tamamata. Krishna says, whoever is connected to yogina api sarvesham. Different ways of connection, but our topmost is madgatena antaratmana. Whoever is completely thinking of me, he is the topmost. That has been given. Okay, from here, Gadadhar Prabhu, you read.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Danat Nam to you. Narada is the direct disciple of Krishna and the spiritual master Vyasa. Therefore, Vyasa is the bona fide as Arjuna because he comes in the disciplic succession. And Sanjaya is the direct disciple of Vyasa. Therefore, by the great grace of Vyasa, he had sense were purified, and he could see and hear Krishna directly. One who directly hears Krishna can understand this confidential knowledge. If one does not come to the disciplic succession, he cannot hear Krishna. Therefore, his knowledge is always imperfect, at least as far as understanding Bhagavad Gita is concerned. In Bhagavad Gita, all the yoga system, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga are explained. Krishna is the master of all such mysticism. It is to be understood, however, that as Arjuna was fortunate enough to understand Krishna directly, so by the grace of Vyasa, Sanjaya was also able to hear Krishna directly. Actually, there is no difference between hearing directly Krishna and hearing directly to Krishna via a bona fide spiritual master like Vyasa. The spiritual master is the representative of Vyasa also. Therefore, according to the Vedic system, on the birthday of the spiritual master, the disciples conduct the ceremony called Vyasa Puja.
Vyasa Puja.
Hare Krishna.
So here Vyasa, the spiritual master is a representative of Vyasa. Without spiritual master who is in the bona fide sampradaya, we can never understand Bhagavad Gita. Either we can hear directly, which Arjuna has got the fortune, but we can hear only directly from Krishna via the spiritual master. Rajan samsmritya samvadam imam adbhutam keshavarjunayo punyam vishyami cha muhurmuhu. Rajan samsmritya samvadam imam adbhutam keshavarjunayo punyam vishyami cha muhurmuhu. So, as I repeatedly recall, that is what Krishna has asked us to do. Go on reading again and again. Not just exam over. Now I'll not touch Bhagavad Gita at all. No. I repeatedly recall. Again and again we have to study. Smrityaha, smrityaha, samsmrityaha, sampurna rupena smrityaha. That means how much we have to remember. To go on reading. At least if you have minimum 10 years of sevan of Bhagavad Gita, then somewhere here and there we can remember some shlokas. We can know even the connection. We can know some Bhuya Tattva. We have to do sevanam. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Nityam we have to do. Nityam Bhagavata Seva. So he says, Samvadam here. Sanjaya says, Adbhutam Keshava. Oh, this is the most wonderful talk between Krishna and Arjuna. Punyam Hirishyami. This is Punya talks. Punya, that means it's a very pious dialogue happening between both. Rishyami, I take pleasure. Mu, repeatedly. Initially, it will be a burden. Oh, I have to study. Now examination is going to come. But afterwards, when you go on studying, you go on releasing. First is, it becomes like, that's why Krishna says in one verse, spiritual activities are initially like a poison. Afterwards, it becomes nectar. Material activities are nectar in the beginning. Afterwards, it becomes poison. So your homework is such that verse, where Krishna says, spiritual activities are initially what? It is a nectar. And afterwards, it is a poison. Initially, you feel it is like a poison. Afterwards, it is actually a nectar. That's why he says, the more I remember, I become thrilled. Okay. Vishwambhar Prabhu, please read. Vishwambhar Prabhu. Parthabandhu Prabhu, read.
Yes, Mataji, I'll read. Rajan samspritya samvadamimam adbhutam keshavarjunyo punyam rishyami cha muhur. O King, muhur. O King, as I repeatedly recall this wondrous and holy dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna, I take pleasure being thrilled at every moment. Purport by Prabhupada. The understanding of Bhagavad Gita is so transcendental that anyone who becomes conversant with the topics of Arjuna and Krishna become righteous, and he cannot forget such talks. This is the transcendental position of spiritual life. In other words, one who hears the Gita from the right source directly from Krishna attains full Krishna consciousness. The result of Krishna consciousness is that one becomes increasingly enlightened and he enjoys life with a thrill, not only for some time but every moment. Hare Krishna.
Taccha samsmritya samsmritya rupamadya rupam yatta rupam ati adbhutam hare vismayo ye maharajan vishyami cha punha punha. Muhu muhu, here punha punha. Taccha samsritya rupamatya hare vismayo me maharajan vismayo me mahan rajan vishyami cha punha punha. The more I go on remembering the wonderful form of Lord Rupam Adbhutam, wonderful form, that is the wonderful dialogue. Here now the wonderful form of Krishna, Vismaya me mahan. This Vismaya means it is really wonderful form. Mahan Rajan Rishyami. I'm enjoying it again, rejoicing it, enjoying there Rishyami. Here also Rishyami, 2 times Rishyami. There Muhu Muhu, here Punha Punha. So I'm taking pleasure in remembering this wonderful dialogue. I am taking pleasure in remembering the beautiful form of Krishna. Okay, Vaishnav Gaur Prabhu, can you read? You're traveling. Huh? You're reading, Prabhuji? Voice is not heard. No, your connectivity is not there, Prabhu. Okay, Gadi Prabhu, you read.
Hare Krishna. Taccha samsmritya rupamatya adbhuta hare vismayo
Atyadbhutam. You have to tell like this.
rupamatya adbhutam hare vismayo me mahajan me cha punha punha. Translation. O King, as I remember the wonderful form of the Lord Krishna, I am struck with wonder more and more, and I rejoice again and again. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. It appears that Sanjay also, by the grace of Vyasa, could see the universal form of the Krishna exhibited to Arjuna. It is of course said that Lord Krishna had never exhibited such a form before. It was exhibited to Arjuna only. Yet some great devotees could also see the universal form of Krishna when it was shown to Arjuna, and Vyasa was one of them. He is one of the great devotees of the Lord, and he is considered to be a powerful incarnation of Krishna. Vyasa disclosed this to his disciple Sanjaya, who remembered that wonderful form of Krishna exhibited to Arjuna and enjoyed it repeatedly. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishno, Yatra Patho Dhanurdharaha, Tatra Shir Vijayo Bhutir, Dhruvani Tirmatir Mama. The most important verse. Wherever there is Krishna, there is Arjuna. Wherever these two personalities are there, or wherever this conversation is there, understand Shri, Vijaya, Dhruva, all things are attained. What is attained? Shri, that means opulence, Vijaya, victory, Dhruva, sorry, Bhutihi means Bhuti means exceptional power. Nitihi, morality is attained. So this is four are attained. Shruti Phala, this is all Phala Shruti. This is not Phala Shruti. This is the Phala Shruti. Whoever hears this conversation, there Krishna and Arjuna are there. Wherever Krishna and Arjuna are there, there Shri, Vijaya, Bhuti, Dhruva. Four things. Shri, Vijaya, Bhuti, Niti. Dhruva Niti. Dhruva Niti means morality. यत्र योगेश्वर कृष्णो यत्र पार्थो धनुर्धरः तत्र शीर्विजयो भूतिर् ध्रुवा नीतिर्मतिर्मम. Memorize this verse. Very important verse. Nice not to study Bhagavad Gita again and again. Yatra Yogeshwaro Krishno, Yatra. He is Yoga Ishwaraha. He is the Lord of all mysticisms, Master of mysticisms. Yatra Partha Dhanurdhana. He is the son of Pratha, Kunti Putra Pratha. Dhanurdhara is the carrier of bow and arrow. Tatra Shri Vijaya Bhutir. One will attain opulence, victory, Bhuti, exceptional power. Dhruva, certainly Dhruva. Niti, morality. Matir, Mama. This is my opinion. Who says this? Sanjaya says. This is my opinion. Whoever hears, they will attain. Okay. Daya Sagar Prabhu, last verse for today. You end the class with your verse.
Hare Krishna. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Partho Dhanurtaraha, Tatra Shri Vijayo Bhutir, Dhruvanitir Matir Mama. Translation. Wherever there is Krishna, the master of all mystics, and wherever there is Arjuna, the supreme error, there will also certainly be opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. That is my opinion. Purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The Bhagavad Gita began with an inquiry of Dhritarashtra's. He was hopeful of the victory of his sons, assisted by great warriors like Bhishma, Drona, Karna. He was hopeful that the victory would be on his side, but after describing the scene of the battlefield, Sanjaya told the king, "You are thinking of victory, but my opinion is that where Krishna and Arjuna are present, there will be all good fortune." He directly confirmed that Dhritarashtra could not expect victory for his side. Victory was certain for the side of Arjuna because Krishna was there. Krishna's acceptance of the post of charioteer for Arjuna was an exhibition of another opulence. Krishna is full of all opulences, and renunciation is one of them. There are many instances of such renunciation, for Krishna is also the master of renunciation. The fight was actually between Duryodhana and Yudhishthira. Arjuna was fighting on behalf of his elder brother Yudhishthira. Because Krishna and Arjuna were on the side of Yudhishthira, Yudhishthira's victory was certain. The battle was to decide who would rule the world, and Sanjaya predicted that the power would be transferred to Yudhishthira. It is also predicted here that Yudhishthira, after gaining victory in his battle would flourish more and more, because now only was he righteous and pious, but he was also a strict moralist. He never spoke a lie during his life. There are many less intelligent persons who take Bhagavad Gita to be a discussion of topics between two friends on a battlefield. But such a book cannot be scripture. Some may protest that Krishna incited Arjuna to fight, but which is immoral, but the reality of situation is clearly stated. Bhagavad Gita is the supreme instruction in morality. The supreme instruction of morality is stated in the 9th chapter. In the 34th verse, Manmana Bhava Madbhakta. Manmana Bhava Madbhaktaha. One must become a devotee of Krishna, and the essence of all religion is to surrender unto Krishna. Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja. The instruction of Bhagavad Gita constitute of supreme process of religion, of morality. All other processes may be purifying and may lead to the process, but the last instruction of Gita is the last word of all morality and religion. Surrender unto Krishna. This is the verdict of the 18th chapter. From Bhagavad Gita, we can understand that to realize oneself by philosophical speculation and by meditation is one process, but to fully surrender unto Krishna is the highest perfection. This is the essence of the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, the path of regulative principles according to the orders of social life and according to the different courses of a religion may be a confidential path of knowledge. But although the rituals of a religion are confidential, meditation and cultivation of knowledge are still more confidential. And surrender unto Krishna in devotional service in full Krishna consciousness is the most confidential instruction. That is the essence of the 18th chapter.
Okay, this is the essence of the 18th chapter. Surrender unto Krishna in devotional service in full Krishna consciousness is the most confidential instruction. Okay, from here, Kamalakshi Mataji reads.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Another feature of Bhagavad Gita is that the actual truth is the supreme personality of Godhead Krishna. The absolute truth is realized in three futures: impersonal Brahman, localized Paramatma, and ultimately the supreme personality of Godhead Krishna. Perfect knowledge of the absolute truth means perfect knowledge of Krishna. If one understands Krishna, then all the departments of knowledge are part and parcel of that understanding. Krishna is transcendental, or he is situated in his eternal internal potency. The living entities are manifested of his energy and are divided into two classes: eternally conditioned and eternally liberated. Such living entities are innumerable and are considered fundamental parts of Krishna. Energy is manifested into 24 divisions. The creation is affected by eternal time, and it is created and dissolved by external energy. This manifestation of cosmic world repeatedly becomes visible and invisible. In Bhagavad Gita, 5 principal subject matters have been discussed: the supreme personality of Godhead, material nature, the living entities, eternal time, and all kinds of activities. All is dependent on the supreme personality of Godhead, Krishna. All constructions of the absolute truth, impersonal Brahman, localized Paramatma, and any other transcendental construction exist within the category of understanding the supreme personality of Godhead. Although superficially, the supreme personality of Godhead, the living entity, material nature, and time appear to be different. Nothing is different from the Supreme, but the Supreme is always different from everything. Lord Chaitanya's philosophy is that of inconceivable oneness and difference. This system of philosophy constitutes perfect knowledge of the absolute truth. The living entity in his original position is pure spring. He is just like an atomic particle of the supreme spring. Thus, Lord Krishna may be compared to the sun and the living entities to sunshine. Because the living entities are the marginal energy of Krishna, they have a tendency to be in contact either with the material energy or with the spiritual energy. In other words, the living entity is situated between the two energies of the Lord. And because he belongs to the superior energy of the Lord, he has a particle of independence. By proper use, independence comes under the direct order of Krishna. Thus, he attains his normal condition in the pressure living potency. That's in the Bhakti Vedanta purport to the 18th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the matter of its conclusion, the perfection of the renunciation. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Jai Ho. So your one step is over, that is Bhagavad Gita. Now comes Dvesham, Ishopanishad, and nectar of devotion. Okay. So, Updeshamrit is not over, na? Okay. Talk to
It is-
Madhusudan.
yes.
No, no.
Huh?
No, madam, it is not over.
Mataji, can I ask one question? Sloka 77.
Yes, yes.
This Sanjaya says he has seen the universal form and he was rejoicing again and again. When Arjuna saw the form, he was bewildered, he was confused. Immediately he
I
asked
saw
Krishna,
your
you come back
form.
to the original form. How Sanjaya was able to withstand that form, rejoicing and remembering that form
He
again?
did not say that I am rejoicing with that, with the Vishwarupa Darshana, your Adbhuta form. That is also wonderful, but come back to your understanding the opulence and seeing the sweetness. Both are there, no? He did not say Vishwarupa form. He said Adbhuta
No, because
form.
it is translation, it is perfect, it is written specifically about universal form. That is
Yes,
what I had.
universal form. After seeing that, understanding how sweet is my Krishna, that he has so much of opulence. You understand it?
Okay.
That form is very fearful, no doubt. But after understanding that my sweet Krishna has so much of wonderful form, so that universal form is connected to the sweet. That means that sweet person has so much of opulence.
Okay.
Okay.
Fine. It was that kind of his interpretation.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So study. I'll talk to Madhusudan Prabhu. Let's see how quickly we can do even with nectar of instruction. But the examination for this will be last end of this month. Hare Krishna.
Nectar of instruction or nectar of devotion, you will be taking the classes, Mataji?
I don't know.
Okay. Okay.
There'll be another teacher. If they are not there, I'll be there.
Okay. Thank you. It was very nice. Every time you explained in a very simple way always and correlated it to our life, and it was told in a very simple way. Thank you very much. We all got benefited out of it.
Hare
I
Krishna
will
Mataji.
join you all in the regular program. That is, whenever I take some special classes, you can join. So in the
Yes.
future, in any group, I'll join you. You'll
Yes,
be there.
please add us.
Yes, Hare
Yeah.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Kamalakshi Mataji.
Every day we
Yes.
seen Nine Manjari Mataji. Our mood only moved of goodness, Mataji. We are getting extra.
She has gone to the school now.
Our
She has
all
gone for
devotees
some
full
parents.
happy and spiritual mood only, Mataji. Cute smile also. Every devotee enjoyed the Nine Manjari's slokas. Very grateful thanks to Nine Manjari. Special thanks to His Grace Narayan Devi Mataji and Narayan Damodar Prabhu and Tumur Mataji. Very, very thanks, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Mataji, and then exam is 20th of November, Mataji.
I'll be posting.
Okay, Mataji.
Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you so much.